your smartphone. Available for iPhones from the App Store, for Android on Google Play. And now Guide Us TV is available on Roku.
Hey, we're coming to you almost live from our studios right here in Southern California, and we've got a program lined up for you tonight that might be a little bit different than what you're used to when you tune in. Mondays and Tuesdays are doctors' nights. That's when we get the doctors to come on in. We're never on a Wednesday because that's when they have to play golf. But anyway, yeah, that's... I knew I'd get a rise out of that one. Woo! Assalamu alaikum, all the way from Tampa, Florida. Tampa, Florida, Dr. Adil. Assalamu alaikum, doctor.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
And all the way from St. Louis, Mo, that's in Missouri. MashaAllah, we have Dr. Sultan. Assalamu alaikum, Dr. Sultan.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good to be here. Good to meet you again.
MashaAllah, it's great to have you with us. Dr. Sultan, you might want to get your microphone positioned a little closer to you or something so that we can hear you better. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And Dr. Adil, how's everything going over there where you are?
Alhamdulillah, it's a little cold, believe it or not. Cold, rainy, windy, cloudy, no sunshine. It's very, unusual. Last night started to midnight. We have all these thunderstorms and raining like crazy and, till Fajr time. And it continues on. So we have a very unusual mixed weather.
Well, I just want to give you this little update. Maybe you already heard it, but actually, people talk about going to Florida for the winter or they go to California. And when I lived in Florida, they told me, the people from California told me, Florida is just a cheap imitation of California. So there you go. That's what happened.
That's a good way. You're the original. Mashallah.
Yeah, well, we moved to California, so I can say it now.
California got Sheikh Estes, so it's got to be the original.
Well, what can I tell you? Anyway, so, the good news is that we've heard about something. Well, at least I have some news. I don't know how good it is, but there's something out here that we've been talking about all day long, and we wanted the doctors to weigh in on it, guys, because I don't even know how to pronounce it. Verticum or something like that. What's it?
Ivermectin.
And say, hey, here's the claims though, guys. This is the claims I've seen on the internet that it'll cure everything except death. And I know that the black seed is supposed to be doing that, right? But what is this thing? And they're telling me that it'll some people, I think they believe that this will come in and wash their car for them, shine their shoes, and clean out the refrigerator and do the spring cleaning. But anyway, most of the people think that this is something that will help viruses and maybe even be a cure, not a vaccine, but a cure for the coronavirus. Yeah, COVID-19. Maybe. Doctor, can you talk to us about it?
Sure. I sent you the article I have on ivermectin. And basically, it's a medicine's been out for 40 years. It has well-tested and safety and effectiveness profile. It's usually used against parasite infection, and is really highly used in Africa. But along with that, there has been other, places in the world like Peru, Brazil, France, believe it or not, and Egypt, and a lot of other different locations in Africa that has shown now a very strong antiviral activity, and there has been a double-blinded, trials and observational trials that got a few thousands of patients that's combined together showed efficacy towards the coronavirus in particular to prevent the replication of the virus, to shorten the illness, and to help accelerate the recovery, if you would. And this data has been looking very good and very promising and very reproducible around the globe. Meaning, when something you test anywhere in the globe and it shows the same results persistently, this is most likely real. And we use this across the globe. In, for instance, coronary stent trial, when the same results being reproduced across the Atlantic, then it's in a good way, in a well fashioned trials. Then definitely this is the way to go. Now, there has been a group of physicians, and I really came across the data, and it looked very, very promising. They did present it to the FDA, but the FDA said we wanted more information, more data on a large scale trial. And this is what I put in my article, that we should really take a closer look at this, because vaccine is not really a cure, but this is a cure for those who have the disease, and it is for prevention for those who don't have the disease. And for something of this global pandemic size, of how many millions of people could be saved with this therapy that's cheap, that's effective. Like I said, we have a safety profile for 40 years, and it's pretty good. And now it shows a very strong efficacy towards all the stages of the viral replication before it hits, in a prophylaxis, prevention of the disease, and also in the acute therapy. So, I believe that there is a lot of opportunity there to try, because there is nothing out there that we have been using to prolong life or reduce mortality. But ivermectin seems to have very good results so far on the data that have been, and seen in research.
All right. So
what my understanding is that the way ivermectin works is, zinc is also very important in the COVID infection, and ivermectin pushes zinc inside the cell. So combination of ivermectin and zinc even makes it better results.
okay, I think that's very valuable information that both of you have come up with, and I really respect that a lot. I wanted to now have a chance to look at and show everybody, if I can, what's going on in other parts of the world right now. So already we know that this has been going, as Dr. Ado mentioned, around the world. So, and it's been, I think he said 40 years, so that's a long time. And here's what's going on right now today. And let's take a look at this and let you see it. I have it on the internet. Take a look, all right? And this is right now in Africa. This is in Nigeria. This is it's saying that the Nigeria's commercial hub begins the clinical trial of Ivermectin. Ivermectin. Is it? Anyway, why did they have to give these weird names to the stuff?
It's much easier than the one that was approved. We have longer names and much. So this is not too complicated.
Really?
Yeah. Remdesivir. If you compare with the other, a lot of people have difficulties saying it.
It is simple English. You should be able to pronounce correctly.
Ivermectin.
Yeah. Why don't they just call it, tree number 1 or tree number 2 or whatever they give it, like COVID. That's easy. COVID. and then put a number after it, 19. I like that. That's I don't particularly like the virus, but the name, hey, that's good. Coronavirus, that was kind of hard to get used to, but you know, we have Corona here in California, and then they've got a lot of Corona down in Mexico, but we don't deal in that stuff. Anyway, I just wanted to mention that in Africa right now, they got it going, and they're checking it out. And let's just take a look at what it says right now. Here it is. It said in Lagos, that's the in Nigeria, you know, is a commercial hub for the biggest city, okay? And they're approving this clinical trial. It's a trial of this drug called Ivermectin, whatever, and it is FDA approved already, but for other things, okay? So it has not been approved as of yet for the coronavirus. But here's the best part. The best part about it is, like doctor said, it would be a cure if it will work. If it will work for this virus, it is a cure. And if the FDA is dragging their feet on it, but you see that it's working in Africa, hey, let's charter a plane and fly over to Africa and get that thing. Because a cure is better than a vaccine. Oh, yeah. Because it's nobody will, if you got it and you get rid of it, that's it. Wonderful. Okay, now there's one more little thing, and it's not the littlest thing. In fact, it might be the biggest thing. It only costs 12 cents. Huh? The dosage on it is only 12 cents. What about that?
That's a very, attractive point to the people. Said, well, how can go wrong with 12 cents of something that's very efficacious and very safe, have profiled for 40 years straight. So it's very difficult to argue. And the data is coming from different parts of the world. They're all kind of confirm the fact that it's effective, it's safe, no fatalities, no side effects, low anaphylaxis, like even with the vaccine.
What was that word that you just used?
Huh?
What was that word you said? Anaphylaxis.
No anaphylaxis, meaning the allergic reaction that would led to death of some people who took the vaccine.
And it was easier for you to say anaphylaxis than it was to say allergic.
Yes,
okay.
Severe allergic reaction.
Okay.
Severe allergic. That's called anaphylaxis.
Yeah,
so because
I know it's an Egyptian thing. You guys can pronounce things that. Yeah, I got that.
So anyway, I believe people are now reading stuff all over the world, simultaneously learning about it, all that, and people are really desperate for help.
Yeah, well, hey, look, Lagos has already tested positive, a rate of 24% out of 10,000 active cases of the illness. And it said, well, oxygen demand has spiked to 300 to 400 cylinders from 70 cylinders a day as more and more people come down with the symptoms. So, yeah, they have a big increase that's jumping up for them. That's like going through the wall. And they said that nearly 2,000 people already died from the coronavirus. So, and it's one of the most populous countries in all of Africa. I don't know about Egypt, but I still think it's part of Africa. Anyway, it says that there are more than 200 million people since its first case on February 27th of last year. Hey, that's my birthday. Wow. February 27th. Well, that's not a nice birthday present at all. I think it said that they have recorded 131,000 deaths already. And so I'm really looking forward to monitoring what's going on there in, is it called Lagos? What was the name of it?
Lagos.
Lagos, not logos. Logo is yeah, and never mind.
Legos. That's what I
Legos.
remember.
Yeah, hey, I like to play with Legos. That's fun.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so here's some of the questions that we had. Let me see if I can find those questions again. So you got the questions there, Doctor, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Dr. Sultan, would you read the first question and give us the answer if you know it, please?
Let me get to that question list.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and that I will start. I'll join it.
Okay. I'll get that email. So
Neither one of
basically,
you were ready, man. Come on.
you know, I always have you. Okay, so the first question: do you know about ivermectin? Yes, and I wrote the article and I shared it with you, so you could share it with anybody in the globe.
Well,
Ivermectin can cure coronavirus. It has a potential of doing that, and you know the fact that people when they took it in that article from so many places around the globe, and they will have specifically for COVID virus either preventions called prophylaxis or the actual treatment, and it led to very promising results in terms of people needing hospitalization, reduction of death and complications. Now you talked about people needing oxygen and being put on ventilators and so on. So the data are very very promising. When it was double blinded and compared to placebo, because there is nothing out here that does help in terms of preventing death, mortality. Even the FDA approved medication like remdesivir and so on. All what it does is just reduces the ICU length of stay, but it has no impact on longevity. Same thing, we thought initially with monoclonal antibodies, convalescent plasma was promising. It didn't do much at all to help mortality or death rate, to reduce the. But ivermectin has a significant affinity to the proteins that can block the viral entry. It works like a cop. The best way that I can describe it, it's like a cop that prevents the viral entry into the cell and then help modulate the immune response to COVID-19. So it prevents it from replicating, and it also has another additive therapeutic effect, which is an anti-inflammatory effect.
Okay, so, the next question. Let's keep it short because we got a lot of questions here, and also we got a break coming up in 11 minutes, so we need to really keep this.
Second question. No,
Dr. Sultan. I'm going to put him to work tonight. He gets away with relaxing, chilling. No. Dr. Sultan, you're up. You are up.
Available in the America.
Yeah. What we want to know, the second question we have is, can this intervictum cure coronavirus? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
You got off the hook real fast on that one, didn't you? I'll give you the next one. When is it going to be available in America? When?
It's already available in America.
Okay. Yeah, it's already available for other things, but all these were related to the coronavirus. When do you think it'll be? If it's a cure, it doesn't say that, does it? As it actually,
Dr. Adel said that it is no brainer. It is such a cheap medication. Well, that is the whole problem, and that's why it'll take much longer time to approve it.
Ah, all right. Well,
there's something very interesting I'm going to share. When you read on FDA approved. You know what FDA approved really means?
I would like to know. I think we'd all like to know what does FDA approved mean.
So I'll tell you what it means, right? And what it does not mean. Okay. All right. What it means is that a lot of papers are filled a lot of T's was crossed, I's were dotted, and money, lots of money, exchanged hands. That's all it means FDA approved, okay? It does not mean efficacy, and it does not mean safety. If it meant safety and efficacy, so many drugs will not be taken off each year from FDA's approved list. So there's food for thought right in here, okay? So when we say FDA approved, I said this is FDA approved, many times it's like our psych says it is safe, is effective, is good, it is perfectly fine for me to take it if it's indicated in my case. But think twice. I'm going to give you a little different perspective on what does it really mean when it says FDA approved. Just think about it.
I always thought that if FDA approved meant that it was certified and encouraged and pushed forward by the United States government, has stood up for this and said, we've tested out extensively and there's no way that this could ever cause a problem.
That is your perception. Have you ever read such a statement from FDA that that's the mental picture you should have? I have not read it.
I was hoping that they get emergency use authorization, the very infamous EUA that got all the other, convalescent plasma remdesivir, all the other therapy approved on an emergency basis. But how come we don't even have the same pristine data for 40 years like we do have on ivermectin? So it's kind of wonder, along with the very cheap price and very effective, it's kind of wonder, what's going on. Other places
That's
in the world are
question.
using it, doing very well.
Yeah, well, here's another question. So I have never heard you guys talk about this before, ever. And I've been watching with you guys almost a year now, and I don't remember you guys ever using this word once. Am I wrong?
What word?
Intervectorum or whatever.
Ivermectin. This came to light only last couple of months, and like I said, I wrote this article, and it's reverberates around the globe because there's a need for it. But the FDA came and said, well, we need more data, we need more large-scale trials.
And more money?
Consider it there.
I mean, you mentioned, you said it, Dr. Sultan, you said that there are large amounts of money, and why do they have to get any money out of us getting a 12-cent deal here? I don't understand what that's all about.
Well, that is the economics of medicine. You see, anything that doesn't make money is pushed behind. See, new cars sell more expensive than the old cars, so always new things and come out at much higher price get pushed more than the old, simple, common sense and safe. There are many safe medications which have just gone out of fashion because now we have newer and more expensive medicines. Which I said, the FDA approved does not mean safety. It does not mean efficacy. If that's what it meant, then every year, see, there are numerous medicines are taken off the list because of their, as the time progressed, the data showed either they were not as efficient or showed toxicity. That's why those get taken off. It's not just a matter of few drugs. Every year, so look at we can search right now FDA approved drugs and taken off the market. You will see a great number. It's just a matter of perception. You see?
Yeah, I get that perception part, but what I'm asking right now is if this has been available, and if everybody knew about it, maybe some people didn't realize it, maybe you've only known about it a couple months, I can understand that. But if everybody knew about this thing and the potential that it had, why wasn't it tested out first as a cure rather than waiting for somebody to make up a vaccine that costs have to be distributed to millions of people dying and getting sick? I'm not understanding what if you guys already know about something, Well, at least there should have been a discussion, right?
No, so the point in here is that we have known ivermectin as an anti-parasitic drug for a long period of time, but coming to possibility of using it antiviral, that has been come up only the last couple months. So that's the thing.
All right. So now,
to add to that, I think I watched two hearings in the Senate on a special subcommittee with COVID. There are a bunch of physicians who presented this, and they had other, kind of educational programs. But the FDA came and just kind of, made that decision about 3 weeks ago or so that they will hold off pending, more data. But in Australia, the local FDA approved it, and they're really using it in as it's used in other things like parasites and scabies and so on. So now people are using it to treat coronavirus, based on the 40 years of good efficacy, good safety, and the data is accumulating more and more as more people are desperately looking for both treatment as well as prevention.
all right. So now, when we get back from our break, I think we can go into this a little bit further. But I wanted to encourage everybody at home, guys, this is a great chance for you to call in and ask your questions to the doctors. And then if you've got something to offer as well, and maybe you have experience with something like this in the past, you'd like to talk about it, but that's what the program is for, so we can all talk about it. So let's do that. Oh, and be sure to share this thing right now. If you haven't figured it out yet, that's how we get participation, and people will call in. Maybe you don't feel like calling in. Maybe you're shy. Maybe you don't feel like, I don't want to discuss whatever, but you would like to watch the other people talk about it. How are you going to do that if you don't share it? Everybody share it right now. Everyone watching it now, share it. Share it. And by the way, those in the future when we're not live on the air, but still go ahead and share it so other people will get the benefit for the other half of the show. Why did I say other half? Because we're at the middle and we're going to take a break. We'll be right back right after this. So don't go away. Stay right there and stay guided with
Guidance TV.
I love the way you guys say it.
Do something regular, every month. Do something, whatever you can do. Don't stop, because that's what will keep this going even after I'm gone. And this is what I would love to see. I'd love to be in the grave knowing that this is going to keep going and growing. And you can make a difference. Do the 3 things that I said. Number 1, pray and ask God to accept it and make it better. Number 2, share the message with others. Let them know what we've got going on. And number 3, if you're able, do something, but do it regular. And that's it for our program tonight. I ask all of you to keep up your prayers, keep up your connection with the law, and stay guided with Guidance TV. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullah.
Guidance TV.
Hey, we're going to interrupt this thing right now because I want to get back to the real subject at hand. We're talking about something that is a potential cure, maybe, could be a cure, not just a vaccine that you have to go and get a shot and then follow it up and it's super cold and all the rest of it. No, this is a cure for some things. Maybe, this has got a maybe in front of it, maybe it will be a cure for this COVID-19, the coronavirus. That's the maybe. And that's the discussion that we're having right now. So if you haven't shared this, share it, okay? And if you'd like to call in, we're going to put that phone number up if I can find it. Okay. Nope, that's not it. And, the other number doesn't work anymore. Okay, well, that's what happens when you get this. Like, there we go. I just put that part of it up. Okay. Yeah, 1-800-971-4383. 1-800-971-4383. That's the number to call. And you can talk directly to the doctors, talk to me, talk to yourself, whatever you'd like to do. But we would love for you to call in. And if it's in the future, of course, then realize that you can call in every night at the exact same time that we are live, no matter where we are. Okay, guys? So with that said, let me read something to you right now. Okay, okay, the number is up on the screen. Yes, 1-800-971-4383. Perfect, okay? I want to read this to you, guys. Ivermectin.
Ivermectin.
Okay.
Mectin.
Mectin. Ivermectin. Oh,
The end at the end.
It sounds, it's Ivermectin. Yeah, I think
Ivermectin.
that's the name of a kid in my 3rd grade class. Anyway, ivermectin is already used for humans in the treatment of several neglected tropical diseases like, oh come on, helminthiasis and ochraceriasis.
Parasites and scabies.
Parasites. I like parasites. That's a good word. And scabies?
Scabies, that's very common, unfortunately, in some nursing homes due to poor, hygiene and so on. So that's
okay.
very, very important. It's contagious.
Oh,
It's a
okay.
little mite that gets into the skin, causes a lot of itching, rash, and can spread all over the body. Very, very itchy condition.
Wow. Whoa. Okay, I'm going to go back to reading this thing to you guys. We're almost done with it. It said it is now in stages of evaluation to determine, it said deduce. Why didn't they say determine? The rate of malaria transmitted by mosquitoes that are feeding off of humans and livestock and that have already been treated. In other words, if a human being or an animal has already been treated with this thing, then when you're going out, there's studies and I don't want to be a guinea pig for this, but anyway, that you're walking around and the mosquitoes are biting you and stuff and seeing if it will wipe them out, I guess. Wow. Whoa. Anyway, this thing called Ivermectin or whatever it was. What was the name of that?
Ivermectin.
Yeah. Okay. That thing, whatever it is. Okay, real quick. I just want to ask you, doctor, do you think this might work?
We know from trials it does work, and there's a few thousands of patients' data, including head-to-head comparison with, I know there's one study in Egypt where they did, ivermectin plus PPEs, which are protective personal, equipment, versus just PPEs alone. And the people who got ivermectin were less likely to get sick, get hospitalized, move on to get, needing oxygen or intubation, or die from coronavirus. Mm. So it's definitely, and the data has been replicated in Peru, Brazil, in a lot of other places in Africa.
Possibilities are there. Is that what we're saying?
So this thing, really, all what we say is that we should really start right away. FDA approved, study. That's fine. Comparing ivermectin with anything else that's out there that's currently quote unquote, and then see the efficacy. And once you have the data, which the curves will start separating real early in the game between ivermectin and the others, and the results will be overwhelmingly positive towards ivermectin, and then we'll kind of convince the safety and monitoring committee and the board that's watching this, that's like, you know what, these data are so pristine and so strong.
You said, okay, you already said that the FDA in Australia, well, it had nothing to do with ours, but that one has already approved this to be distributed, right?
And they're used, that's what the data that's published says. Correct.
So
There's something interesting I just found out. We talked about 12 cents a pill. While we are talking about right now, the price has gone up to $7 a pill, okay?
Well, we were talking about it.
Yes.
Whoa!
Eventually people will get it on their own.
Now that, boys and girls, listen, you want to know how effective Guidus TV really is? We're the first and only ones in the United States that are bringing this on as a program and talking about this. I have not heard anybody else talking about this. I didn't see it anywhere else except from our friends in Australia. And when I heard about it, I said, tonight's the night we're going to open that up. And the questions that came in, like, how do I get it? And where can I get it? And how come we didn't hear about it before? And if I take it, here's a question right now. If I get this treatment or whatever it's called, ivermectin, did I get it right that time? Ivermectin. Is that good?
Yes, ivermectin.
Ivermectin.
I-N.
Yeah, ivermectin. Okay, got that. Anyway, if somebody is asking, if I get this, do I still need to take the vaccine?
I'm glad you mentioned that. More than likely, the vaccine doesn't do as far as treatment. It's just a kind of a Band-Aid for 3-4 months that we know of. But if
so we're spending billions and billions and billions of dollars on something, a Band-Aid, when we can get this for 12 cents. Hello, man.
And by the way, it's already on Amazon. You can shop it, ivermectin, on Amazon. You can go and actually order it. This is available. So things are happening very quickly around the globe. Ivermectin for humans, Amazon.
Yeah, you know what? They should, the ivermectin people should make some donation to Guidus TV, because we're the ones that exposing this thing, right?
Free 2-day shipping with Prime.
Wow. Okay, I'm going to go on Amazon right now while we're on the air. Amazon. Oh, guys, you got to see this. Let's go. Let's go to, okay, Ivermectin. Oh, my God. Amazon has it loaded up already. Whoa,
right on.
Look at this. When you click it, it says for humans, for horseworm, for human pills, injectable, and a paste, and humans pills, and they've got everything here. If you want anything available, oh look, image is not even available.
More expensive.
The image is not
$55.
The image is. Hey guys, hold on. The image is not available because they just put this up. It's no image. And it's saying the price is $677. What happened to 12 cents? Wow. I didn't realize how many people are watching our show, I guess. Whoa.
Well, that's capitalism.
Whoa, capitalism at its finest. Oh, wait a minute. You can still get the paste for the dewormer for only $22.93. That's $23. And another deal is $87. Wow, plus $7 shipping, of course. Then dewormer, the paste. Okay.
The oral tablets, $95.
Are you serious? It went up again?
Or pay without insurance. I'm looking this up right now. They have a generic brand for ivermectin. The oral tablet's called Stormectal. So Stormectal is basically pay with insurance or just pay cash. So the $95.5, so this is definitely pharmacy-free delivery. So this is the real deal here. And the more we do at it, please feel free to share my article with everyone.
Okay.
It's only been out.
We'll put it up
3
on
weeks,
Facebook. I think we'll put your article up on the Facebook too. Wow. Look at the prices going up while we're talking about it. Whoa. I bet a lot of people this morning wish they would have got up this morning and bought stock in these things. Look at this. Mederma. That's not the one with the vaccine, is it? Moderna
is the second. There's Pfizer and Moderna. Those are the two.
No,
FDA
this one. I'm
vaccines.
pronouncing it maybe wrong. MEDERMA. Mederma. Scar gel. What the heck? So I guess if you don't use all of it for coronavirus, you can use it for dog warmer. Wow.
Yeah, and I'm glad you had these questions. Is ivermectin really effective against malaria? Well, it's been used for 40 years in parasites and effective, absolutely. And Africa is the biggest evidence to that for 40 years. Safe, effective, cheap.
Ivermectin in Africa. Let's put those two things together. Turn on the images and have a look at see what we get out of that, guys. All right. Well, here it is. 5 days ago, they said that this is 5 days ago. I'm just looking at it right now, and it's telling us. Let me put it so you guys can see it too. It said ivermectin is allowed for COVID-19 patients. That's what it says right there. Wow. All right.
Comes in tablets and in injectable form as well.
And this is that's kind of big on the screen. Let me see if I can pull this one up. Okay, now you can see it better. This is Verbac, and it has the same thing in it. And here's somebody, this is the guy, he knows what he's doing. Look, he's got his mask on, and he's got this stuff, he's ready to use it. And in Africa, they're using it on people already. Oh, yeah. How come we here, and it's supposedly in the most advanced part of the world, there's something really wrong here. You know how? I'm gonna weigh in on this, an opinion, okay? Whenever we're supposed to be, according to our main thinking, or the press tells us, that we're number one in the world, United States, number one. And we're the number one to suffer from the COVID virus on the planet. New York and California are like in a contest to be number one, to be the worst place to live, actually the worst place to die right now from this COVID virus. It is. And at the same time, the so-called, the same press is telling us third world countries, but they're already using something that costs 12 cents. 12 cents. And we're spending billions. You'd think that somebody wanted to make money out of this thing, right? Maybe I'm being cynical, right?
No, you're not cynical. That's the truth. We spend $3.5 trillion on healthcare. So we are number one in spending healthcare. And as we talked about, that we are number 83 in our overall health. You spend number one, but you're not in health number one. You spend a lot of money, but you are not number one. You're not two, not three. You're 83. So in other words, there are 82 countries living there You have better chance of living longer than in United States and better health than in United States.
82 countries?
Better than United States, yes. It comes to the quality of health.
Quality of health. Wow. I didn't know that.
See, one of the problems when we talk about quality of health is one of the biggest crisis is most people really don't know what quality of health means. Whatever is given to them, they just take it. Hey, I get that's the best. My doctor prescribed me drug, that's the best. My doctor prescribed surgery, that's the best. No. So this is what I teach my patients, that how do you judge quality of medical care? Number one, the treatment should get rid of your symptom. That's a fair deal. You see, okay, like a headache, it should take the headache. Number two, it should get rid of your drugs. I mean, if treating your headaches with drugs, what's the big deal in it? The big deal is when you can treat the cause and then you don't need the drugs. So get rid of the symptoms, get rid of the drugs, and number three, when both things happen, you get rid of the physician. So the good quality should get you freedom from the medical system and the drugs and your symptoms. If it cannot do that, then that's no good. You got to look for something better.
Actually, I'm looking at this thing right now, and it says that this is talking about Nigeria, by the way, and it's saying at the bottom of this that nearly 2,000 people have died from the coronavirus in Africa's most populous country, and more than 200 million people have gotten this thing since last year. That's the same article or the same paragraph that we read on another website. But the interesting thing about this is that only 2,000 people have died since last year in Africa, in that part of Africa. How many have died here in California in the last week? And just yesterday? Hello? Well, this is totally unacceptable in my mind, if you're claiming that we're number one in anything at all, even if we're number one in popsicles, for crying out loud. How come we don't know about a 12-cent cure? A cure, and we're playing with a Band-Aid? This is way out of my thinking. I know we're a capital country, that we're interested in making a few bucks, but to the extent that you would hold human life over the flame just to get a few bucks in your pocket? Man.
And by the way, Chief, I just sent you a U.S. National Library of Medicine, clinicaltrials.gov. This is the results from the study. It was done in Egypt about ivermectin from the Ministry of Health and Population, and it was published in June 11th, 2020. So this was almost like 7 months ago, that ivermectin has proven to be effective in the treatment of COVID-19 and in its management, both in vitro, meaning in the test tube, and also in humans. And it helps to achieve a viral clearance and standard route. And then they at the time suggested that a bigger trial could take place and so on. So I'm giving you more and more. The more you look into this, the data has been there. There is no ifs and buts about it. And this stuff works and works well. And you could verify it. It's already published in the clinicaltrials.gov. That particular study done in Egypt, Ministry of Health, which basically it's a very limited budget, nothing fancy, but it showed that this stuff works and works well.
Yeah, I don't want them to have a big budget because that's going to come out of my pocket. Yeah, right. Let's take a look at what you just sent me. Let me see what it says. The safety and scientific validity of this study is the responsibility of the study sponsor and investigators. Listing a study does not mean it has been evaluated by the U.S. federal government. Well, we just learned that the whole thing of that, having the FDA, U.S. Scientific and responsible, they're not responsible for nothing, according to what you doctors just told me. FDA is not going to be held responsible for nothing. Is that what you're basically saying, Dr. Sultan?
That's exactly, because all the mortalities take place of the FDA-approved drugs. Who gets blamed? Nobody gets blamed. They just get taken off the market, you know. Now, let me give you some very interesting, simple thing. You see, aspirin, Tylenol, these can be quite damaging. Now, especially, I'm going to talk about Tylenol, you know, acetaminophen, which everyone uses for pain all the time or for fever and stuff like that. You see, it can cause severe liver damage that requires liver transplant, you see. So that is about, when I saw last several years ago, saw the data, at that time, the sale of Tylenol was a few billion dollars a year. And the drug company knows about its serious liver effects, but it does not put on its label as a warning to people because it's a part of the business. I can make a few $1 billion and pay a few $1 million in damages. That's a part of business. That's okay. I mean, as long as you're making billions and spend a few millions.
But I want to understand, how can anybody, any human being, accept that you make $1 or even 1 cent or even $1 billion anywhere, anything that you gain off of the possibility that somebody else will get sick, get ill, have a serious condition, or maybe a lifelong condition, or maybe even end their life? How can this be reduced to, well, percentages, equations, etc.? How? I'm asking, really. I don't understand how people can do that.
Well,
more evidence comes from
I'm not
Bangladesh.
talking fiction. I'm not talking a fiction story. This happened. Look on the internet. You search the deaths associated with Tylenol. You see, deaths associated with Tylenol. Liver damage is well known.
Well, I just clicked on something. Let me see if I can put that up so everybody can see it. I just clicked on aspirin, Tylenol, liver damage, and it's coming up. It's showing about liver damage right now. Let me see if I can make that come up a bit clearer. This is really an eye-opener for me, because I had no idea that any company would stoop to this level to make a few bucks out of people, and knowing they're going to die, knowing a percentage of people will die. All you have to do is reach over here, and 12 cents, that could have been the cure for this thing, and then it would stop the spread, because people would have been cured. They wouldn't have been spreading it to start with. Is that true or false?
I found more evidence. Ivermectin treatment improved prognosis. This is from Bangladesh, Iraq, and other parts of the world, Peru. And I sent you the link from PubMed.gov, that ivermectin treatment improved the prognosis of patients with COVID-19. And there are some multiple articles from different parts of the world that's confirming the efficacy and the promise of ivermectin in the treatment of COVID-19, with extraordinary survival benefits for people who have severe disease. And this is by Islam Manzoor and Akhtar Haq. This is truly, people should stand up for what is right and tell the whole humanity about it. And another, Dr. Khan, also published a paper about improved prognosis of patients with COVID-19. So there is definitely a very overwhelming evidence from different parts of the world, and I sent you the link on that as well, to let people know about this new therapy, and that will help save lives, definitely improve outcome, and it's cheap and it's safe, and it's proven time and efficacy in terms of its something really works to prevent and treat. There is nothing else out there except this potential one that I'm aware of, and the English literature that's anywhere published. So it's definitely something need to be take a closer look at.
Okay, well, now, we're coming up on the end of our program tonight, and it's so fast for me I can't believe we're going through this so quick. But one of the things that I thought people would be calling in on it, maybe they're as shocked as I am and trying to think of where do we go from here? Who do we hold accountable for this? The billions of dollars that were just already been made by these big companies. Now, in the case where, okay, you're giving it free, but it's not really free because our government is paying for it and taking this away from us and making our dollars worth less. And our production will be worth more because that's an illusion, because our dollars are really worth less. So the few dollars that I get every month in my retirement isn't even going to be able to cover this so-called 12-cent cure. Is it right?
Absolutely. And our job is really to, as people of faith, as Muslims, to tell the truth, share the truth, educate people, advocate on their behalf, and do what's ethically right. And I know only a couple of minutes left, but there's 3 important health alerts in addition to ivermectin. Number 1, there was a CDC has issued warning if you are a pregnant woman or anyone above age 65 or have weak immune system, avoid eating deli meat because it's contaminated with something called listeria. Unless you cook it more than 165. So don't go out and buy those cold cuts, please, because it's contaminated with listeria, which can lead to a lot of deformities in babies if the pregnant mom eats this cold cuts or cold meats from the deli, deli meat. So that's number 1. CDC has issued that warning.
Okay. What's number 2?
Number 2 is when the 1 out of 5 Americans now has another epidemic that's cooking with STDs, diagnosed with sexually transmitted disease. 1 out of 5 Americans. 1 out of 5. You're talking about the pipeline that will continue to feed the more infection and more immune compromised states. 1 out of 5 Americans have STDs, which has increased during the COVID because of the isolation and so on and so forth. And lastly, alcohol. There was a biggest article that was published in JAMA, which is a very well respected journal, that showed alcohol has a direct impact on the development of atrial fibrillation. And atrial fibrillation is one of the leading causes of strokes and embolic events, regardless of the amount, because some people said I only would take 5 drinks or 6 drinks. Sometimes people can develop atrial fibrillation in a small amount of alcohol. So that by itself would lead to encourage people to abstain from alcohol. And it's a very honest study, and it's UK because they made the month of January a dry month, that they will stop the alcohol and see people rate about atrial fibrillation. And now there's solid data. So people, if you don't want stroke to go on a stroke because atrial fibrillation or liver cell failure or whatever, then abstain from alcohol. So that's very important. Plus, reducing immune system and make you exposed to coronavirus and other things. All
right, we got to roll out, guys. Wow. We got so much to talk about. Tomorrow night, we're going to pick it up where we left off. How about that? Let's do that. Okay, we got to roll out, and this is how you watch Guidance TV, and share it as well. Share, 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 share. And see you tomorrow night, guys. Assalamu alaikum. Stay guided with
Guidance TV.
Here are some ways to get Guidance TV. Via satellite on Galaxy 19 FTA. At this satellite frequency, transponder rate 5, frequency 11836 MHz, polarity vertical, symbol rate 20.
Festus for Guidance TV. Today we're